Merry Christmas. Good to have you here with us today. I now recognize myself for 5 minutes of questions. First of all, I want to recognize that we walk a fine line between talent and risk. When I was an associate professor at Georgia Tech, we had a investigation I helped the FBI with. Only as an associate professor could I actually get the information they needed, because the FBI has so many limiting features to investigate these folks at universities, which is a problem. But it's also a real opportunity to poach the talent from around the rest of the world like we've been doing for decades. Indeed, the reason we have the wealthiest man in the world is not just because he came from a foreign country, but he came to a country that actually exponentially magnified his talents and his abilities. I mean, quite frankly, as a guy who's on space and aeronautics and who really loves space and really loves AI, really loves advanced technology, and really this has been my biggest learning curve as a guy who has an MD and MBA. This is my next PhD as a course here. I've had that opportunity to kind of look at what really makes us tick as a nation. You have a guy who now, we've divested from space. We really have. I love NASA, but we're not doing what we used to do. We used to lead the world. Us and Russia, we're the only two people who could put spaceships up in outer space to get to the moon, to go anywhere. Now we have one man who puts more spaceships in outer space than every other nation combined. That's a huge parabolic, that's a shift of not only capabilities, but real pools of money. And that came because somebody immigrated to the United States and then used this amazing texture of technologies and wealth to do what he's done. And that was all pretty political. I just state that because it's not a political thing. It's about business. It's about the business of America is business. And we need good immigration, but we also need good security. So this is a tightrope we'll continue to walk for the rest of our lives. It's never going to go away. I understand that. It's interesting, though, but you talked about the openness of 1958. Elon Musk famously said before he was, once again, this is several years ago, he said, I don't worry about patents. I've never sued anybody. The only reason I get patents is so people can't keep me from using my own technologies. Because he knew if you're copying us, you're falling behind. That's why Russia fell behind us in the first place, because they were copying us. So I'm not worried about people copying us, but I am worried about the intellectual property that we have in the leading edge technology. If we have somebody we're training or taking that technology before we've even employed it, that's what I'm really worried about securing. And I thought we've made brilliant comments today. I'm really excited about the future. I actually think this is a bipartisan issue that we can get our arms wrapped around. Will never be done. It doesn't matter who the president is. Doesn't matter who the chair is. Doesn't matter who has the majority. This issue will follow us for the rest of our lives. We attract talent. We keep talent. We have to keep our secrets. It's pretty simple. Thank you for being a part of that. It's amazing. I just want to say that when you talk about the U.S., and it's maintaining numerous lists of countries, companies, institutions, and persons that the U.S. is prohibiting from cooperating with our research, contracting, and exporting, how should those lists be used to assess research skill? And that's the big question that we're asking right now. I'm going to quickly, I know we're running out of time, and I got to stick to my own timeline. Dr. Kaiser, your testimony reflects the significant recent process. Why did NSF not issue comparable enforceable guidance earlier following the NSPM 33's issue in 2021?
After the issuance of NSPM 33, we started immediately in coordinating, and after that, we issued the implementation guidance. So we did take action right away, and we took action right away to issue prohibitions and start developing the common disclosure forms.
Very good. I also want to point out that it's interesting, we were worried about following the law and having staffing, and I understand we have shrunk government during this administration. I actually think that's a good thing. We need to be leaner and meaner, kind of like the Marines. Do more with less. That's okay. That means we do have to step up. We have to work harder. We have to be smart. We have to use the new tools, the AI that we have. Each one of you has specifically talked about your roles, and unfortunately, we're going to run out of time in no time, so I don't have an opportunity for each one of you to speak more than you've already spoken, but I think you pointed out how even though you have gotten fewer people working for you, you are doing a great job. You are stepping up to the plate. You are accomplishing the mission. As a Marine, that's very near and dear to my heart, realizing that we can do better. And sometimes bigger government doesn't mean better government. And with that, I'd like to go ahead and do our closing statements. I thank you. I thank you so much for being here, for your valuable testimony, and the members for their questions. The record will remain open for 10 days for additional comments and written questions from the members. Blessings to everybody this special holiday season. This hearing is now adjourned.